Oh, what's up, Ita Gang? Welcome into Dapp Central, your home for everything blockchain and crypto. I'm your host here, Fareed. As a part of today's video, we're diving into the Cardano ecosystem, reviewing the top projects, the top builders, and exactly what has been going on here in this last week of May. Now, we're going to kick things off here by reviewing updates for World Mobile, followed by Xerberus, and then we're going to talk briefly about Nuvola, their recently released incentivized testnet, followed by updates from Minswap, arguably the biggest and most active DEX here in the ecosystem. And we're going to close out today's updates by reviewing and talking about USDA, the fiat-backed stablecoin building here in the ecosystem. Now, before we go any further, if it's your first time stopping by the channel, my goal is to help you find your footing here within the Cardano and Bitcoin ecosystems. If you appreciate content like this, I would appreciate you if you could smash that thumbs up on the way in. If you want more, consider subscribing. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, as always, feel free to voice off down below. Now, if you want to extend your support for the channel even further, I am a stake pool operator contributing to the Dapp Central stake pools. So if you'd like to, consider delegating your ADA with either of the two pools, which both share the ticker DAPP. Now, in closing, if you're going to be attending Rare Evo this coming August, I believe it's the 6th through the 10th in Vegas, I should say, at Caesar's Palace, I'll be there in attendance. But if you haven't already bought your ticket, you can go ahead and do so and receive a 10% discount by using the discount or the coupon code DC10 at checkout. You receive a benefit, I receive a kickback, and of course, again, look forward to seeing you at the upcoming event. Now, let's jump right on in. We've got a lot here to cover, especially when it comes to World Mobile. And I'm going to kick things off here by just briefly highlighting a topic that has really stirred a lot of pots here. And this is the announcement, right, for the potential to have decentralized storage on the World Mobile chain. Now, it states here that this will be powered by Earth nodes verified on chain, and that the Earth nodes themselves will offer storage as a service, running modules that store and deliver encrypted data. Now, why did I mention that this has actually been stirring a lot of pots? Well, if you aren't familiar, we've got Iagon, a decentralized storage protocol building here in the ecosystem, who's actually patented some of this decentralized storage technology. Now, I'm not necessarily sure exactly what their patent includes. I'm not a patent expert, so I'll leave that to the experts. However, right, there are some claims of potential infringement. Now, the thing is we haven't necessarily heard exactly how World Mobile is going to execute on this. And of course, there's other decentralized storage platforms out there, for example, like Filecoin. And so, we're going to have to see exactly what happens. But ideally, we'd love to see this, to be resolved amicably without getting any sort of lawyers or legal talk involved. So I'll just leave it at that again. I don't want to stir any feathers personally. Now, it states here that the World Mobile chain, through their service, will provide service integrity, performance verification, and fair rewards for node operators who choose to opt in to their decentralized storage service. In terms of why this actually matters for the users, right? This will be able to provide local communities cloud storage. They'll also be able to make sure that their data is protected in terms of privacy. And last but not least, for any areas where reliability isn't currently available, they'll now be able to get a reliable service in order to store their data. Now, moving over, we've also got an update here in a brand new release for the ecosystem metrics dashboard. Now, this breaks basically all of the World Mobile stats down. And for anybody who's a numbers person like I am, this is going to be a goldmine of information, especially as they add more fields and more data points here for the community. So jumping over, we've got a couple of things that you can currently review, which include the network revenue, hardware revenue, staking rewards, Earth node rewards, as well as the total number of WMTX holders. In addition, when it comes to the actual charts themselves, you can view them in terms of monthly data, cumulative data, or you can also actually filter by a particular region. So jumping over to the official metrics dashboard, I'll leave the link to it down below. Again, we've got the total number of daily active users, data consumption, Air nodes, WMTX holders, and a lot of this is already visible on the Air node dashboard or the Ecosystem Explorer. But if we scroll down, this is where we now begin to see a lot of the new features here. So again, we've got the total revenue, right, per region. And then we can also, again, from a map perspective here, break this down by month, by annual timeframes or 6-month timeframes, or by yearly time frames. Again, you can also jump in between the cumulative frames if you'd like to go ahead and do so as well. Again, I think that's really it here when it comes to this particular dashboard, but that is not all. We've also got the fact that the testing for their latest mainnet candidate has now begun. And so this was actually posted earlier today. Again, keep in mind that World Mobile is operating as a quote unquote layer 3 operating on Base. And so with their particular network, we've seen a lot of load testing going on. And this particular tweet came out from Rick Middleton, breaking down that block times have now gone down to quickly as 0.3 seconds. I think on Cardano right now, blocks are being minted every 20 seconds for comparison. And we can see that there's been a total of roughly 15 million transactions and roughly 10 million addresses currently live right now on their testnet. So a lot of really good updates here, and it looks like mainnet is inevitable, which of course, again, is going to unlock a lot of features here for builders who want to build on the blockchain, but then also gets us one step closer to finally getting Earth nodes up and running to support the World Mobile Network. That'll do it there for updates from the WMTX community. Next, we've got updates coming in from Xerberus. So they just had what they called their governance live stream, and this was hosted by Simon Peters. This was really a good stream. I actually caught it as a part of the replay. It's roughly about 10 or so minutes long. It's very, very quick. However, a lot of really good information here in terms of what they've been working on with the Intersect MBO and the team from SundaySwap. So they call this their Cardano Treasury Float. And I'm going to just play this very briefly here. Again, I recommend that you watch it on your own. I'm going to mute it for now. But what Simon's basically breaking down is a dashboard that gives us a full view, right, of governance as a whole. So at the very top right-hand corner there, we've got sort of the remaining amount of treasury, or the treasury amount that's allocated for the remainder of the year. As we've just gone through, for example, the $350 million limit for the net change limit, which gives us that much to spend in a year. We can see very quickly how much of the ADA we've spent so far. We've got the treasury contacts. We've also even got a way to sort of review how much of the budget is remaining. And then when it comes to actual payouts, there's a way to actually track all of that here as well. Now, what he's breaking down here is a view that highlights all of the different task orders that have been identified and funded through the treasury for the particular year, and exactly where they stand in terms of delivery, how much of the funds have been spent, and how much of the ADA remains to be claimed. Again, check this out. This was a really, really good live stream here. And these are the types of tools that we're going to need to simplify governance moving forward. So really glad to see the Xerberus team taking the lead here when it comes to that type of tooling. In addition, they've now also begun to tease their VC ratings, which essentially tie a score, right, which is associated with a VC. And that looks at all of their past investments in order to give them that score, which hopefully gives you a little bit better of an idea as to how they might perform when it comes to tokens that they plan to back moving forward. So it states that this is a forward-looking score that estimates how a token is likely to perform post-launch, and this is based on the historical track record of its backing venture firm. The VC rating draws solely from public data on the crypto venture investments beginning in 2023, and it evaluates how previous tokens backed by a given firm have performed after their public launch or public sale, offering a transparent signal of likely outcomes for future tokens backed by the same allocator. Again, really interesting things that the Xerberus team is doing here. If you aren't familiar, they're a risk ratings protocol that initially started in Cardano, but they've now actually branched out to begin to use or leverage the Cardano partner chain framework. And they're now also going to be expanding and providing ratings for other blockchains and ecosystems, including, I believe, Polygon, ETH, just to name a few. That'll do it there for updates surrounding the Xerberus protocol. As always, if you guys do enjoy updates like these, I would appreciate you if you could smash that thumbs up if it's your first time stopping by and you want more. Consider subscribing. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to voice off down below. Now, this was just released earlier today, and now we're going to dive into news about Nuvola. But I have a fully dedicated video breaking down their recently announced incentivized testnet. Now, this is on the pre-prod network, and a lot of the features that it brings are all related to staking NVL. So Nuvola, a DePIN aggregator, they've partnered up with Cornucopias, OrcFax, Iagon, Minutes, and World Mobile so far, and they're running their nodes. And as a part of their 1 to X model, they reward the community, right, by or who holds NVL by staking, and then whatever they earn through their node operations goes back to their NVL stakers. Now, they've already got a very simple staking platform. This is essentially a revamp, which introduces things such as partial claiming. They also now have a claim history feature. And one of the things that I personally am extremely excited about is their brand new collateralization feature. So for any assets that might be undergoing some sort of vesting, for example, like Iagon, they've got a 12-month vesting on all their node rewards. You're actually able to take those rewards, collateralize them, and actually sort of put them up on a market in exchange for ADA. In addition, they've also launched a brand new lending and borrowing feature, meaning that if you have a staking position open on their platform, you can actually lend, right, ADA to someone who's looking to use that as collateral, or vice versa. If you've got an open staking position, you can actually use that as collateral in order to receive ADA that you might want to use in the short term. So they're really reimagining what is possible, or the opportunities and options when it comes to staking and staked assets. Now, I again released a full video breaking that down, which highlights how to actually get some of the test Nuvola tokens, how to actually connect your wallet. And then again, we've got a brief actual view here of the dashboard, breaking down all of the earnings from Nuvola. We've got the My Rewards page here showing your individual rewards. We've got the staking positions page here breaking down all the assets that are currently staked. And then what I just mentioned there, the lending and borrowing, which again, we've got a pretty cool tutorial here showing us exactly how that works. Now, one thing that I mentioned in that video as well is the fact that lending and borrowing, as opposed to the way that a lot of other platforms do it, the team from Nuvola isn't actually keeping any portion of rewards, or they're not taking or charging, I should say, any fees to provide this lending and borrowing service. So as an example, traditionally, what you'll see is protocols who provide lending and borrowing take a piece, right, of whatever is being lent or borrowed. However, here, there is nothing going back to the team. Very similarly with collateralization, their goal is just to make sure that they provide their community with all the tools to be able to do everything in-house, as opposed to actually taking their stake and basically removing it from the Nuvola platform and doing things with it on other platforms outside of the quote-unquote Nuvola ecosystem. So a really solid move here, again, showing that they're not necessarily in it here for the money. But again, check out that particular video that I just released, breaking everything down in a lot of detail. That'll do it there for updates surrounding NVL. Next, we're briefly jumping into Minswap. Now, this was released just a couple of days ago, but they've now highlighted instant swaps. So traders can now have their swaps instantly filled when using Minswap. And so if I understand this correctly, when you submit your order, right, when that order is actually picked up by a block, it looks like it can actually be executed at the same exact time. So this should reduce the time, right, that it takes for swaps to actually happen. And I haven't actually jumped in there to take advantage of this just yet. I'll definitely try to make sure to do that and provide an update. But I'm wondering if this applies to all of their swaps, or if this only applies to potentially like the V1 pools, the V2 pools, et cetera. Because again, there's a lot of different assets that are managed on the Minswap DEX. But if this applies to everything, this is a massive step forward. And we really need to see other DEXs following suit. Now, while we're on the topic of Minswap, and while we're talking about improving the DEXs here in the ecosystem, keep in mind that as it currently stands, Minswap charges 0 ADA when it comes to their batcher fees. This was announced a while back. And in terms of their trading fees, the liquidity providers, right, which changes depending on what assets you're swapping, dictate what trading fees are incurred or are set for the actual swapper. So keep in mind that that will change between the different pools that you use. However, the team, in terms of what they can control, have reduced everything to as little as possible. Continuing on, we've got the Minswap team integrating the sub-wallet, which is one of the leading wallets coming in from the, I want to get this right here. Let me just double check. It's from the Polkadot ecosystem. So it's a multi-chain wallet that currently offers support for ETH, TON, Cardano, and 150 other networks. So you can now quickly jump onto the Minswap DEX, and I'm going to play this video very briefly here. And you can actually use the sub-wallet in order to now begin to make your swap. So just a really good update here when it comes to interoperability and the options, right? When it comes to what you want to use or what you can use in order to interact with the Minswap DEX, not just for swapping, but also for governance. Now, as we get ready to wind things down here, huge shout out and congrats to the Minswap team, who's now officially surpassed over 7.5 billion ADA in total transaction volume. So again, they're leading the way, and this is all information that's available for free through the Tap Tools API. So if you're a developer and you want to go ahead and check that out, make sure to go ahead and take advantage. In closing, we've got brief updates coming in from the USDA team. And again, this is sort of backed by Anzins, but they're now going to be releasing a monthly report breaking down their proof of reserves. So it states here, our latest independent accountant examination report is live and we'll be publishing these monthly moving forward. Now, they're taking a different approach than USDM, which provides an Oracle-based update, which is updated literally every single day. But it states here that with respect to their monthly report, that these reports verify that every USDA token in circulation on the Cardano blockchain is backed one-to-one with real-world assets held in secure accounts and free of any encumbrances. Now, I had to jump over to LinkedIn where they actually had the link to this particular PDF. But as of April 30th, we now have roughly 10.725 million US dollars backing the USDA reserves. And so again, they've taken a separate route, but I'll definitely be keeping you guys updated here as to their official reserve reports, which again are free to the public and will be released once per month. In closing here, we've got the fact that Vineeth has now stepped up and is now the official CEO of Anzins, again, the platform that's building and providing USDA here to the Cardano community. And in his new role, he'll help to lead Anzin's strategy as well as partnerships as they look to expand into other ecosystems. That will do it here for the speed run in terms of Cardano-based updates. There's a lot more coming up. I've got to break these down into bite-sized chunks. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed that there, but we've broken down updates coming in from World Mobile, Xerberus, Nuvola, Minswap, and USDA. As always, if you guys have enjoyed updates like these, I would appreciate you if you could smash that thumbs up. If you want more, consider subscribing to the channel. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to voice off down below. That said, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.